As Coach will open, as always, raise your hand. Keep them up for a second.
How's everybody today? Good. Well, we had good work at practice today. I think the players are focused on what we need to do, and the focus needs to be on, great preparation from this time forward in terms of not necessarily practicing more, but sometimes less is more in terms of practice, but the mental preparation, watching film, understanding what the other team does, understanding the plan. This is a great competitive venue, the SEC championship, in a great environment against a really, really good team, and I think that we all want to try to get ready to do our best. So winning the SEC is something that's very, very meaningful, I think, to a lot of people, and certainly to the players on our team. Before you ask me about Terrell Lewis, this is just the next phase of his rehab. All right, every player goes through, okay, I can straight line run, I can run on the treadmill, I can start to cut, now I can start to do football-related type stuff, but that does not at all mean that he's been cleared to play football, or even has it been discussed that he will play football. So this is just the next phase of his rehab in terms of what he needs to start doing. And when he passes this phase, then we'll go to the next phase. And it's a medical decision as to when he might be ready to play, but it's certainly not anytime soon in terms of the game coming up for sure. So we don't really have anybody else that didn't practice today that has injury issues.
Coach, we'll start on the right with Charlie.
I know that Terrell's put in a lot of work, but what does it say about your medical staff and training staff just that he's actually on the field less than 5 months after tearing his ACL?
Well, I think that most of the time he's pretty much on schedule for what our expectation or what most people's expectation would be. I think all he's doing is some individual drills. He's not really doing any football related contact or anything like that. I think we have an outstanding medical staff. And Dr. Kane, Dr. Andrews, the whole team of people here, Jeff Allen, all the training staff, not only do a really good job of taking care of our players, but they do a really good job in rehab with the players and working in conjunction with Coach Cochran to try to get guys where they need to be so they have an opportunity to get back on the field and be productive as soon as it's safe for them.
In the middle here with Michael.
You look at key factors like third down, explosive plays, turnover margin. How well matched are these two teams?
Well, I think the things that you just talked about are obviously things that have a pretty significant impact on winning and losing. I think two teams are in a championship game because they've done a good job in both of those areas, all three of the areas, and that's why they're very successful. So I'm not really ever sat down and made a comparison. I know that we've been on our defense to get more turnovers in the last few games, and there was a period of time in there where I thought the ball was on the ground too much, but it was better in the last game. So we made a lot of explosive plays, but we also gave up a few, and that's something that we need to get cleaned up.
Up front here with Mark.
This isn't about the game, but I'm just wondering, have you had a chance to talk to Reuben Foster at all lately? And also, what do you think about him getting another chance with Washington?
I have not talked to Reuben. I don't know really much about the situation. Anything that we can do to help Reuben or support Reuben in any way, I think he knows that we're here for him. I love to see our guys make good choices and decisions and do the right things, and hopefully people can help Reuben do that in the future so he can have an outstanding career, but I have not talked to him, no.
Coach, we'll go on the left side with Reiner.
How much has the catapult system affected and changed your thinking as far as scaling back practices, and also how has it also been implemented in changing the prescribed timetables from recoveries from injuries, say like the Terrell Lewis injury?
I really don't know the scientific answer to the rehab part of it. but we have always monitored, sort of how our players are going when it comes to explosive movements, individually, collectively, by position, and then overall as a team. And, that sort of tells me that we need to cut back, we need to do more, we need to condition more if it's not going in the right direction in the other way. So, we do use that information to try to figure out how can we adapt the workload to get the players as ready physically and mentally to play the game. I think sometimes at this point in the year, players probably get as much mentally tired, and I know people don't think that that's possible, that your brain can get tired, but I do think that it gets a little harder sometimes for you to focus on what's happening in a meeting, what a new game plan is, what the other team does. So there's also that aspect to it too, where you have to keep yourself fresh, because sometimes what you think, the longest becomes the strongest, and you got to choose to do the things you need to do to be able to be at your best.
Come back over here with Tony.
What have you seen from Keaton Anderson during his time here, just kind of taking on a selfless role, and then how confident are you that he could be able to step in at safety this week?
Well, he did a nice job for us in the last game when he had to go in the game, and Keaton's one of those guys that he's a great student. He's a tremendous character, really good person, good leader. He's been a core special teams guy for us for several years now, and just continue to work and work and work to where he's in a position now where he has a chance to be successful playing the safety position, which I thought he did a good job in the last game, and I think he's capable of doing a good job in the game coming up as well.
Two more, we'll finish up. Alex at Ben.
Yeah, we've seen some moments on the sidelines between you and Tua. This last game you went in for a fist bump and he gave you a hug. Moments like that. How much do you credit the lightness, the fun this team seems to be having with his personality out there, and just what he does on the field?
Well, you love to see the players have fun, I know that they're pretty serious a lot of the time in terms of what they need to do to play at a high level. I don't think that you can't be focused and have a certain amount of mental intensity to be able to play and compete at this level, but at the same time, you should get excited and have fun when you make good plays, as well as we share disappointments when we make bad plays. So I think that's part of being a team. Being on a team is a lot like being in a family. Sometimes things go well in your family and everybody's happy, and sometimes things can happen that aren't so good, and you all got to kind of persevere together. So that's pretty much. But look, when some of your best players on your team are really good guys, that always makes for good team chemistry.
Coach will finish up here with Ben.
During the broadcast on Saturday, Gary Danielson mentioned that he talked with you about the subject of quarterback transfers in general and Jalen Hurts in particular. I was wondering if that was a subject that had come up with you and Jalen or not.
No, it really hasn't. We're all kind of focusing on this game, I think Jalen's focused on the game. I'm focused on the game. I don't think anybody's thinking about that much right now, and I don't think we'll be thinking about it a whole lot until we get finished playing. Jalen's been a real positive influence on the team this year. He's really handled this like as professionally as anyone could ever expect anyone to. He's embraced the role that he has, and I think he's improved because of it. And I think whatever happens in the future, that's going to benefit him.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.